He still had the voicemail saved on his phone 10 years old, never deleted. And he hadn't sent a single new song since that demo. It started one Thursday night at a little Austin open mic. By Saturday, he was on stage for real. And it had nothing to do with talent. Well, now pull up a chair. Grandpa Ben here. I'm back in Austin for a few weeks, same old roots, same good food, same city that thinks every dream should come with a live band. Last month, I told you about Marcus and his podcast. Tonight's a different kind of silence. This is the story of Kevin Morales, 31 years old, guitar case always with him, and a voice in his pocket that wasn't his anymore. I was there the week it turned. Thursday and Saturday both. If you've ever let one old no decide your whole life, listen close. This one's gonna hit different. Kevin grew up in South Austin, not the shiny downtown part, the part with food trucks, cracked sidewalks, and neighbors who knew when you were practicing because the whole block could hear it through thin walls. His dad worked vac. His mama cleaned offices on Congress. Kevin got his first guitar at 14 from a pawn shop on South Lamar. $40. 3 strings needed replacing. Best money that family ever spent, as Mama used to say. By 17, he was writing songs in a notebook with coffee stains on every other page. Real songs, not copy-paste stuff. Heartbreak songs. City songs. Songs about growing up, broke, but proud in Texas heat. At 21, he recorded a rough demo in a buddy's garage. Nothing fancy, just voice, guitar, and nerve. He sent it to a small A&R rep in Nashville guy named Dale, who came through Austin scouting once a year. Kevin waited 2 weeks. Phone finally buzzed. Voicemail, he played it so many times he could have sung the whole message backward. Hey Kevin, it's Dale. Thanks for sending this in. You're close, man, but honestly, not ready yet. Keep writing. Maybe try again down the road. That was it. Not cruel, not mean, just not ready. Kevin told himself he'd try again. He really did. But every time he sat down to record something new, Dale's voice came first. Not ready, not ready, not ready. So he stopped sending demos, stopped submitting to labels, stopped chasing anything that felt like a real shot. He still played open mics around town, safe rooms where nobody asked for a catalogue. But he stopped telling friends he was serious, stopped acting like music could be more than a private habit. I met Kevin on a Tuesday. Miller's Smoke on East 7th Ray's place, if you remember Marcus's story. Kevin was sitting alone with iced tea and a black guitar case at his feet. Looked tired. Not sleepy tired. The other kind. The kind that comes from fighting yourself too long. I asked if the seat was taken. He said, "All yours, sir. We got to talking." Turns out, he knew Marcus from the neighborhood different circles. Same habit of dreaming loud and doubting quiet. Kevin laughed when I mentioned that. "Yeah," he said. "Marcus had the texts. I got the voicemail. He showed me his phone. There it was, still saved. Dale from Nashville. 2016. 10 years in his pocket like a receipt he never threw away. I listen sometimes, Kevin admitted, like proof I wasn't crazy to quit. I looked at that screen a long moment. "Son," I said, "that's not proof you weren't ready. That's proof you never checked again. That Thursday, Kevin asked if I wanted to come hear him play. Open mic at a small bar on Red River, neon beer signs, sticky floor, 20 people on a good night. I said yes. We walked in around 8. Place smelled like fries and old amplifiers. Kevin signed up third on the list, sat back down and tapped his leg the whole time. When they called his name, he stood slow like his boots weighed double. He played one song, just him and an acoustic, no pedals, no backup. And y'all, the room went quiet in the good way, not polite quiet, real quiet. When he hit the last chord, folks clapped hard. A woman near the bar wiped her eye. Kevin almost smiled. Almost. Then the bar owner came over, big guy named Rick, ponytail, Austin since the 90s. "Hey man," Rick said. "That was legit. You got more like that?" Kevin nodded. "Couple." Rick leaned on the bar. "I need a short set Saturday. 4 songs, maybe 5. You in?" The question hung in the air. Simple as that. 4 songs. Saturday, Kevin opened his mouth. Closed it. I saw his hand slip toward his pocket. Toward that old voicemail, like Dale was in the room with a stop sign. I gotta think about it," Kevin said. Rick shrugged friendly. "No pressure, bro, but don't sleep on it too long." Kevin packed up fast. We walked out into warm Austin night. He didn't say much until we hit the sidewalk. Same story, he muttered. "Every time someone gets close, I freeze." "Rick ain't Dale," I said. "No," Kevin said. "But my head don't know the difference." We stopped under a streetlight. Traffic hummed past. Kevin pulled out his phone again. Played the voicemail once. Just once. Then he looked at me. "Tell me straight up," he said. "Am I messing with myself?" I didn't sugarcoat it. "You're 31. You ain't the kid who sent that garage demo. You've got 10 years of songs Dale never heard. That Not Ready was about a moment. You turned it into a life sentence." Kevin stared at the phone. "So what do I do?" "You stop obeying a 10-year-old voicemail. You say yes first before Dale's voice talks you out of it. Saturday ain't Nashville. Rick didn't ask for a perfect catalog. He asked for 4 songs on a sticky floor in Austin, Texas, not a label rep. Not 2016. Saturday, Kevin didn't sleep much that night. Friday morning, he texted Rick. 1 line. "I'm in." Then he sat at his kitchen table and picked 4 songs. Not the safest ones. Not the ones that sounded like something on the radio. The ones that sounded like him. Saturday came. I was in the back by the bar. Rick introduced him simple. "Give it up for Kevin." No big speech. Kevin stepped up. Hands shook on the first chord. I saw it. So did he. But he played anyway. First songroom listened. Second somebody hooted. Third a couple started swaying. Fourth Rick nodded like a man who just solved a small problem. When it ended, Kevin set the guitar down. Didn't run. Didn't hide. Rick clapped him on the shoulder. "We'll talk Monday," he said. "Maybe a regular slot." Kevin walked outside with me afterward. Cool air. City noise. He didn't check Dale's voicemail. For the first time in years, he didn't need to. "I'm still scared," he said. "Good," I said. Scared and doing it anyway ain't the same as stopped. Monday, Rick offered him a monthly spot. Not fame. Not a record deal. Not Dale calling back with apologies, just a room, just a mic, just people who wanted to hear what Kevin already had. That week, Kevin archived the voicemail. Didn't delete it, I'm not asking anyone to erase their history. But he moved it out of his daily pocket, out of the cage. He told me later he might send something new someday, not to prove Dale wrong, to find out who he'd become since that garage tape. That's the whole point, y'all. One not ready at 21 ain't a map for 31. The rope that held you then might be thread now. You won't know till you pull. So remember this. Failure is an event. Belief is what keeps it alive. Kevin wasn't held back by bad music. He was held back by one message he never let expire. The room in front of him had changed. The kid who sent that demo was gone. The artist in the bar was real. If you've got a voicemail, a text, a grade, a rejection, a voice from years ago still running your choices, ask yourself honestly, am I still that person, or am I just still obeying them? Test it once. One song, one application, one try. That old rope might snap easier than you think. Well now, that's all for tonight. I'm Grandpa Bain. If this story spoke to you, subscribe to Grandpa Ben's Story Hour. Come back for the next tale. Until then, don't let an old no write your tomorrow. And let your work speak louder than a message you saved too long.